I made it. So up above my shoulder, you can see the Pinnacle, which is the mountain that I'm gonna try to summit today. Hopefully you can see it. It's right there. We're gonna climb this couloir on the north end of it and hopefully go up on that north ridge on that side. Well, unfortunately, the creek is ripping and I'm gonna have to jump it to get across. So hopefully this goes well. Woo! I found a new spot that I think I can get across. It is kind of sketch. Oh, let's go! That was dumb. These mountains are shedding water really fast with it being the summer solstice. So the water's high, and this is creek crossing number 3 in which I got to jump over, so here we go. Oh, let's go. Sunrise was at 4 a.m. this morning, so it's pretty warm out already. The snow is nice to take and cool down when you need to. The one bad thing about coming out here this late in the season to climb snow is it's soft. I'm definitely sinking in a lot of this snow, and it definitely makes it harder to walk. To give you an idea of how dramatic the aspect effect is up here in the mountains, what you have right behind me is a north aspect that's holding a bunch of snow still, even though it's June 20th. And right across the valley on a south aspect, all the snow has been shed besides a few minor places. Super green, and it looks like a different season over there. Just considering what angle the sun is hitting the mountains has a major impact on the hydrology and the snowpack. I made it to a boulder field, so now I'm having to jump from boulder to boulder to try to get across. There's definitely some snow wells nearby the boulders. You can kind of see one down here. So you don't want to walk too close to them and risk post-holing into the snow. But I'm making it by. For anyone curious about the snow holes that I was talking about, here's one where I just went waist deep. That's not it. That's not what you want. I ended up tossing on the crampons. As this snowy hill gets steeper and steeper, the added traction is really going to help out. At some point, once it gets even more steep up there, I'll bust out my ice axe. We're a little more than halfway up just this first snow slope, and the views make it worth it. One of my favorite things about Hatcher Pass is that it has such a rich history. The Dena'ina people were up here for millennia, and as of more recent, there was a history of mining up here. There's still some active mines in different basins and a lot of closed down mines, but a lot of those equipments that were used for mining are still around here. And now it's a haven for recreation, and a lot of people are able to now access this area via, you know, a great road system, the state park, the historical area, and it's for all of us to, you know, share together. Just a really pretty place. I got a little pika friend up here who is not too pleased to see me, and he's screaming at me, telling me to get out of his turf, which I can respect. Sometimes it's hard to be nice to strangers, but we're gonna teach this little guy a lesson of just to mind your own business. I'm just passing through, you rodent. So I'm gonna be switching over to my helmet on. It's getting steep enough. I gotta bust out the ice axe. And in the unfortunate case, hopefully not the case, that I slip and fall, I have my ice axe to do an arrest, self-arrest, but I also want to have a helmet on. It is quite rocky underneath me, and a slip could be fatal. That won't happen. But the GoPro is going to get tossed on top of the helmet, so this might be the last time for a while that you see my beautiful face. That's alright though. I have a pretty good feeling that my face is going to get sunburnt. Climbing this snow, there's so much light reflection that it's really easy to get sunburnt, and I forgot sunscreen this morning, so shout out to my skincare routine. Well, I finally made it up the last bench, so I just have the couloir to climb and then try to gain the rock face and summit the pinnacle. The view just keeps getting better and better the higher up I climb. More of the mountains are starting to reveal themselves. This is kind of the name of the game right now. Just kicking into the steep slope and then using the ice axe as a handle. And away we go. Here's the couloir. I made it to the top of the couloir. I wanted you guys to see this view with me for the first time. Oh. Took me about an hour and a half to make it up that damn couloir. A couple of alpine lakes, super blue. You probably can't see it in the camera. There's a mine right out here. You can see one of the buildings. What a sweet start. So I've made it this far. Now I think my best chance of getting to the top of the pinnacle here is actually going back down slope a little bit and then mount goating my way up to the peak. I think that's the peak. I really hope it's the peak. There could be a peak over here, which is even taller. Well, I made it close to the summit. I'm kind of stuck. I'm in a little wet spot, and I don't feel comfortable climbing this. But right below me, I think that if I can access this snow, I'll be able to take that route all the way to the summit. We shall see. Right now I gotta rappel off this rock and then get lower and then see what we can do from there to descend these ropes. What I have here is a belay device. This is the ATC guide. I have it extended away from me, and then I'm using a backup friction hitch, which is a prusik. And as you can see, I can go hands-free. I'm not touching the ropes, and I don't fall down the rope. So that's really nice in the case that I slip, hit my head, and go unconscious, or any bad things like that happen. It's nice that I don't have to be holding onto the rope for this system to work. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I still have to get over to this snow slope and then start climbing, but we're almost at the top. Well, I finally made it up the snow slope. I'm just beneath the summit, but I thought you guys would like to see the route that I took up. You see my tracks right there. And get a view of the Talkeetnas. On a clear day, you could see Denali, which is off in that direction, but it's too cloudy. So I guess we'll just have to suffice with the Talkeetnas. I made it. Wow, what a view. Right behind me, down in the valley bottom, you can see Archangel Road. That's what I drove in on. So I have to get back down there. Alright, and just like that, we're ready to descend. For anyone curious what we're going off of, we got a nice piece of cordlet around this horn, and non-locking carabiner. Pretty nice. Well, I've made it down the steep snow. That was really sketchy because it was above this cliff with way too much exposure, and I didn't like soloing that. So I'm really happy that I've made it past that, but now I gotta go down this sketchy rock, which is right here. But after I make it past that, it's smooth sailing. I'm just gonna boot ski down the gully and walk out. Should be easy going. Just one last thing to do. Cheap. Well, I just down climbed that section right above me, who is actually really, really chill, which makes me feel a lot more confident, because now all I have left is to descend the couloir. Oh. These boots are so heavy. Well, folks, we did it. We made it down safe, climbed the pinnacle. We had one stellar solstice day. And now we might go drink some beers, listen to some live music till the sun goes down, which is not till maybe 2 a.m.